Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? The Odell Beckham storyline persists. We've followed this, and you know how I feel. I am 100% on board with the New Orleans Saints pursuing and adding Odell Beckham. The only negative that anyone has to say about the Saints potentially adding Odell Beckham is, well, he's a diva, he's a prima donna, will it fit with the locker room culture? That's the only thing people question. Nobody questions his speed, his athleticism, his explosiveness, his ability to get open and make plays down the field. All of that, he is an elite, special, transcendent, number one talent. I continue to say, look at with any personnel decision, weigh the risk versus the reward. That's probably true in most any decision you make in life. Weigh the risk versus the reward. If you're the Saints, what are you risking if you bring in Odell Beckham? A marginal cap hit this year, maybe some spread out in future years, whatever, to potentially elevate your passing game, which is something you desperately need to get this offense to push you through the remainder of the season into the playoffs. There is no other player available like Odell Beckham at the price which you could potentially get Odell Beckham. It is, for all intents and purposes, the same situation Tampa found itself in last year when it added guys like Leonard Fournette and Antonio Brown. It's the same thing. You're paying a relatively low price for a superstar player that you could potentially inject into your team and help carry you to different heights. And if it doesn't work, what have you lost? Not much. Kind of like a couple of years ago when New England signed Antonio Brown after he was let go by the Raiders, and he was there for a week, caught a touchdown pass, and then he had more off-the-field stuff. They cut him loose, and nobody thought twice about it. That's where the Saints are with this right now. There is very low risk, very high potential reward. The potential of the payoff is worth the very minimal risk of bringing him in. And apparently, there is very legitimate truth behind Odell landing in New Orleans. Now, the latest is from, we saw this morning, from ESPN's Diana Rossini. Diana Rossini, on Wednesday morning, reported that Odell Beckham is considering 3 teams. The 3 teams that she said Odell, or that she reported that Odell is considering, are I'm pulling up the tweet if you'll forgive me. I want to read it directly so as to be accurate. This was 9:02 a.m. Today, Wednesday. Rossini, on the day in which he could make his final decision, free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is honing in on the Chiefs, Packers, and Saints per league sources. So Diana Rossini said it's basically down to 3. Adam Schefter today reported that Odell wants to spend the rest of the season with a playoff contender in a winning environment. Didn't say that he wants to spend the season with the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl, but a playoff contender in a winning environment. The Saints are certainly that. They are a contender, and they have been a winning environment. So that fits. Same is true with the other 2 teams we mentioned, the Chiefs and the Packers. For what it's worth, Bruce Arians was asked on Wednesday about Odell, and he said they're not interested. So the Bucs will not be making a push for Odell Beckham. What is interesting about the other contenders, Seattle is one that was mentioned initially, but was not mentioned in Diana Rossini's report. Seattle has the most cap space, by the way. So if you take the Seahawks, and I'm using deductive reasoning here, but if you take the Seahawks out, if you're to believe Diana Rossini's report that it's the Packers, Chiefs, and Saints, if the Seahawks have the most money to offer and they're not being considered here near the end, that would tell you Odell is not necessarily considering money as his top priority. Again, go back to Schefter's report. Wants to win, playoff contender, winning environment. Because that's something Odell has not had in his career. For his career, which began in 2014, Odell Beckham has played in 1 playoff game. It was 2017 with the Giants. They went to Green Bay and got blasted 38-13. That's Odell's only playoff appearance. He was with the Browns last year, and they did win a playoff game for the first time in 2 decades, but he was on IR with the torn ACL, did not play it. I'm talking about actually playing in a playoff game. He's done it one time in his career. So it stands to reason that for a guy who's made more than $100 million in his career, both on field and in endorsements, who has wealth many of us could never even conceptualize, the thing he's missing is being on a winning team and targets. Let's be honest. Receivers want the ball. Odell wasn't getting the ball in Cleveland. And if he goes to Kansas City, he's not going to be the guy in that offense either. When you've got Hill and you've got Kelsey and you've got weapons offensively. I'm not saying they wouldn't target Odell, but he wouldn't be the guy. Same in Green Bay, where they've got Devontae Adams and they've got Lazard and they've got Valdez-Scantling. I'm not saying those guys, the second two, are of the skill level of Odell. You've even got Tunyon in that offense. Really good pass-catching tight end. Odell's not going to be the centerpiece, the focus among the pass catchers. In New Orleans, that's not even debatable. He would be the guy in an offense with a brilliant play caller who will know how to maximize him and push the ball to him to get him touches and get him targets. If Odell wants targets and to be part of a winning culture, that's New Orleans. Winning culture, Kansas City, Green Bay have that. And they got better quarterbacks, no doubt. Catching passes from Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, or Trevor Siemian, this isn't even really debatable. But you will have way more targets in New Orleans. You will have a winning culture. You will be in your hometown. There are so many reasons why it makes sense for Odell to land in New Orleans, which is in part why this report from Pro Football Focus makes sense. Florio this morning reported, and I'll read you directly from Florio's report, one source with knowledge of the dynamics explained to Pro Football Talk, there's a belief he'll, Beckham, eventually join the Saints. Florio mentioned, along with the Packers and Chiefs, the Patriots and Seahawks. The difficult part to believe with the Patriots is the Patriot way culture, and if you're Odell and what you're seeking is targets and influence and to be the guy, that ain't going to mesh with Bill. That goes without saying. Culturally, that don't fit. Seahawks, yes, you could absolutely, they have the highest cap space, winning culture, catching passes from Russ, who's coming back from injury. But with Metcalf there, you're not going to be the guy there either. There's only one option where you can go in day one, be the guy. That's New Orleans. So what does Odell want? He's got money. What he doesn't have is targets and wins. He can get both of those in New Orleans. We wait on an Odell decision. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.